Shield.
Okay, thank you all for coming today. So our bit of news is that Dan has resigned, and I wondered if Mark Dakota was able to find a replacement. Not yet.
No, the way that this works is you guys, the selectmen will take up anybody who wants to join
Okay,
at their next board meeting. So the appointment of the replacement is up to the board of selectmen, but you guys are welcome to give them names
Okay.
of anyone that that might be
Okay.
interested in participating in the commission. And I know that we also, right, Sharon, we have members whose terms are ending. Do we?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
So that'll be in that'll be on the agenda, both for the planning board, conservation commission, ZBA, all of the town boards that have folks with terms that are ending.
Okay. All right, so we're okay to continue without
Oh, yeah.
member.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Privilege of the floor. Are there any text messages? No. Call-ins? Okay. And let's look at the minutes of January 19th. Are there any questions, edits? Where is it? Okay. All right, then we can continue. So our new business, if no one has a question, we'll continue.
Should we approve the minutes?
Oh,
I
yes,
move
thank
to
you.
approve the minutes from last month.
Yes. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of January 19th?
I just did that.
Okay,
We need a second.
I second the
Chris.
motion.
thank you. All right.
All in favor?
Thank you, Secretary. Aye. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. With that, if Mark is ready, we're going to hear about the road engineering update, if there is one.
No change other than the fact that we are starting an application for a transportation alternatives program grant. It's the same roads for Valley Road, Tecumseh, and Snowsbrook. So no change in the actual engineering work that's being done other than the application for the grant. That grant is due end of next week. So we will be getting that ready, and the selectmen will be going over it at their next board meeting.
Okay, is this the update that we need to discuss culverts and drainage issues?
No,
Or is
this is just a grant application. If we're successful in that grant application, then we would go to design engineering. So
Okay,
until we're not doing any design engineering until two things happen. We get funding at town meeting, right? Because we have the $900,000 bond issue. So we can't do any further planning, or we shouldn't do any further planning until we know whether or not we have funding. And in conjunction with that, any grant programs that we are approved for, once we're approved for them and town meeting says we can spend the money, then we will step into the design engineering piece.
okay.
And just a
All right.
reminder for all that the town meeting this year is until 11 May.
That's right. So
Okay,
There isn't going to be anything for the rest of this month or April.
Okay. May 11, okay. All right, any other questions concerning the road engineering work? No, okay. Okay, an update on the wastewater treatment plant, maybe?
Again, that's a funding issue for May 11th. There's the bond issue question. That's part of the deliberative session, and we won't be doing any design work or anything on the new wastewater treatment plant until we find out what, if anything, town meeting is going to appropriate for us to do that work.
Okay,
I will say that we're continuing to monitor the plant, and we're continuing to make improvements and repairs utilizing our existing money to make sure that the plant continues to operate while we're in this design phase
Okay.
for the plant.
okay.
Yes.
I have a question about the wastewater. Are we still looking into land for offloading the effluent, or is that not an option?
It is one of the options that we will investigate, but we basically have stopped any further design engineering
Okay.
beyond the conceptual, very conceptual stage until we have money to be able to pay the engineer to do that work. So we have done some very preliminary work, which is what gave us the cost estimates that are in the capital program. But there's a lot of refinement that has to go on with that.
Okay. Okay. Moving on to the 25-foot wetland setback suggestion. So we had some discussion concerning that, and I think, if I remember correctly, the priority was to discuss drainage culverts, and that Rick will send an estimate for detailing the naturally occurring wetlands that would benefit the most from that 25 setback. Do you have any updates from him?
I did receive an update from Rick. The cost estimate of that would be about $2,500 to do that work. And again, we have enough money in the budget to be able to do that work as long as town meeting appropriates the funds. We're not doing any special work, so we're not doing anything beyond our normal operating costs right now, right?
Okay.
So we're just taking care of what we have to. After May 11th, we'll be able to coordinate with the planning board, and we'll be able to move forward with Rick if that's what everyone wants to do.
So when you say there's enough money in the budget, are we talking about the Conservation Commission's
No,
budget? No, the town
within-
budget.
Yeah, within the total budget. We're okay. But remember, usually we are having all of these votes tomorrow, okay? Because tomorrow is the election, right? And we usually have the town deliberative session at 5 o'clock, 5:30 tomorrow afternoon. But instead of doing that, we're not going to make a decision on any of the money in the town budget until May 11th. So basically, we're just picking up the trash and providing water and treating wastewater and providing public safety. We're just going along here until May 11th. No, nothing special, nothing extra is going to be able to be done until after that May 11th meeting. It's not going to be like any other year here,
Right.
right?
Okay. All right. The next item. Well, I see Martha wrote new business. Craig Larson still hasn't shown up to any of our meetings, so I don't know what his questions were for us. And he hasn't communicated to us, so. Any other comments about that? Okay.
No, that's not on the agenda I have anyway. That's an old one that, I don't know which one you're looking at. But the one that you emailed out, the next
Right.
one was municipal solid waste, the thing with
Okay.
Craig. Not on the
Oh,
agenda.
right, right. Thank you.
Hold on just
Thanks.
a second, Eric, if I can. Craig has talked to me a couple of times about coming into the Conservation Commission. However, he has not provided me with any information about what he wants to talk to you about or when he wants to do that. So I think if Eric, you might want to email him or call him and just ask him if he still wants to come in and talk to the Conservation Commission.
Yep.
I'm sure it's because he's very busy with the tubing hill and whatever.
Okay.
But I think April would be a good time for him to do that because we're not going to have, or we shouldn't have a whole lot going
No.
on.
Right.
So
Okay.
you might want to encourage him to come in.
Right. We may not have anything else on the agenda, so.
There you go.
Okay, so. And the next item is our new Municipal Solid Waste Committee. Thank you, Rich, for organizing it. Is he there?
Yes, no, thank you, Eric. You were part of that organizing too. So
Okay.
I'm glad we're up and running. We had our first meeting. Mike Capel is the chair. We're still looking, I think, for a couple people. An alternate, I think. We're still looking for someone to fill an alternate position. We have 7 full and 4 alternates we decided to go with.
Yeah.
So we have the 7 full filled and we have the 3 of the 4 alternates filled. And most importantly, as you very well know, Eric, we're looking for a secretary. Doesn't have to be a member, but
Right.
someone who can take notes. That I've discussed with Mark that Nick would be able to write up based on the notes he receives from somebody, but he won't have the time to attend the meeting. So we're up and running. We have subcommittees. I believe you're on the recycle subcommittee, if I'm not mistaken, Eric,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There are a couple others, I think 3 others. So
Oh,
our next meeting, our second meeting is on 6th of April.
sounds right.
And yep, I guess we'll see how things go. Hopefully,
All right.
hopefully it'll help the select board do the research, and the analysis and some of the big questions we have going forward. And I like the new signs we have up. We put up DPW put up new signs today at the entrance to our transfer facility, which basically says, if you're not from the town, go away. But says that more nicely, I think. Is that right, Mark?
And we're watching you with.
And we're watching
videos that
you.
will-
Eric,
Right.
Eric, did you
We
send
did
that
stop.
picture?
Yes.
No,
We
yeah,
did.
we do have cameras. They are actual working cameras.
No, Mark, we were coming into the valley about a week ago on a Saturday.
Oh,
and
yes.
A car was in front of us with these 3 big barrels. And Len and I kept saying, do you think they're gonna go to Waterville? Sure enough, we pulled in, we took those pictures.
Yeah.
And he came off of 175 from
Yeah.
that Holderness.
Happens all the time.
Wow, I was shocked. I've never seen it before. I was shocked.
So the question is, did law enforcement, were they able to capture the license plate on their video? Because it didn't come out on your photo.
As far as I know, we did not get that particular license plate. It really has to line up.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
One of the
They could not identify it.
one of the subcommittees on the Municipal Solid Waste subcommittee, that's a mouthful, MSW, is the question of access. There's a sort of an access subcommittee to look at if there's anything we can think of that will help DPW, something we can do with access. We're the only town in the area that's 24/7, 365 unrestricted access. Right, Mark? And so, and now that Thornton Campton is closed, Campton Thornton, I'm not sure which way it works, is closed on Sundays. But that's an important day for us to be open, especially Sunday afternoons for people, the late morning, early afternoons for people leaving the valley.
Well, that's where people from Waterville Estates are leaving too, so they're coming here.
Yeah, well, this is the issue. So it's something this subcommittee can look at and see if there's a way we can attack it. It is an issue and it's not right, but I guess it's better than throwing it in the woods.
Yes.
The way I look at it at this point.
Or they could take it home with them.
Nobody does.
Yeah. There are a couple
Well,
people who do. I think there are a
Yeah.
couple people who do.
Well, recycling's one thing, trash is another.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Trash is another. That's true.
Okay.
Anyway, we're glad to have the committee, and Eric, thank you for lighting a little fire under the select board to get us moving on that. We've been talking about it for a while. We've just been busy with other issues like wastewater treatment facility,
Oh.
road repair. And let's not forget the water repairs that are coming this year too, right, Mark? I mean, we got repairs to our water system that we
Yeah.
already voted on and approved, and it'll make it quite redundant, and we will have well 3 back online. So
Yay.
There will be an application for a river crossing that we will need to have the Conservation Commission be aware of. And actually, Sharon, we have that copy in Town Hall. Has that come back yet from the state?
River crossing.
No, not yet. I think it needs to be signed off by the state and then it will come back. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes. We gave them the signed copies that we signed, and we
That's right.
haven't got it back from them yet.
Right. So the way that this is going to work is we have submitted it's basically a wetlands permit for the river crossing portion of that water project that Rich was talking about.
Mhm.
Remember, we're going to put a new line across the river that is going to feed water from well 3
Okay.
into our new treatment building,
Right.
then be the backup for our distribution of water out of the treatment building and out into the system on the east side of the river. Okay. In order to put that pipe in, we needed a wetlands permit from the state of New Hampshire because the Mad River is a shoreline protection river. Okay. So we have filed that. As soon as we get it back from the state, we should bring it up at your meeting so that you are aware of what's going to be happening. I do not see that construction. The construction might occur this coming fall, but it's probably more apt to be next summer. We'd really like to have it be this year, but I don't see that being possible to get a contractor on board and so.
So this river crossing will be parallel to the existing one that we don't use right now?
Well, no, we use that one that's
We
right
do.
by the bridge. Okay,
Yes.
we use that to get water from our wells up to the reservoir and out into our system. Okay,
Okay.
but that's been there since the early 1980s.
Hmm.
So what we're doing is we're going downstream a little ways, probably
Downstream.
about 300 or 400 feet. And
Mhm.
we're putting in a parallel line that will primarily be to get water from well 3 to our new treatment building.
Okay,
Okay. If something were to happen to the line right by the bridge,
mm-hmm,
then we would be able to switch some valves, and we
mm-hmm.
would be able to utilize that same pipe to be the backup to distribute our water from well 2 and well 4 out into the system.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
And by the,
all three of our wells on the other side of the river. So,
Yeah.
and we only have one line coming across into the town,
how many are working right now?
3. Well, two are working right now.
Two out of the 3 are working right now, well 2 and well 4. And well 3, we need to put this system in before we can put it back online.
It'd be great to have that redundancy because that town depends on that one line. And you can see the concrete casing, you can see the rebar and all that. So anyway.
Very good. Any other?
Mark, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Up the, let me see, how would I want to ask this question? Depot Camp Bridge right there, and you go up to Tripoli Road, just up the top of that little hill right there, there's a building down on the right-hand
Oh,
side.
that's right.
Is that another well right there?
No.
What is that building?
It's a little hut.
Yes. I can't remember if it is the ski areas or a discontinued piece of the town's treatment, but it is not currently part of our system.
Okay.
It may be a pump station or something for the ski area, but I'm not 100% sure. I will ask Dylan, and we'll send you out an email to get that answered.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what that is, but well 4 is the one. If you go out to Depot Camp itself and you follow the small cross-country trail off to the left as you're walking out.
Red Feather Trail?
Yes.
The old Red Feather.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's a fenced area out there on the left-hand side of the trail. That's well 4. We don't publicize that. We don't want people to really know even about it. That's why we made the fence green, and we try to hide it as much as possible to
Got it. Okay.
keep traffic down around it. But that's well 4.
Good.
And then it uses the trail back across Depot Camp clearing there, and then back down to the new treatment building.
That's right.
Okay.
That's really
Mhm.
boulevard. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a about a mile long water pipe and a co-located electrical line that run along the trail.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Got it.
Well, thank you for that information.
Yeah.
So I have a minor point looking at notes from January 2. Sorry, Martha, but there's a couple of things that were left unsaid. It's okay. The Wigwag article, if you want to mention something in the Wigwag about our Conservation Commission, let me or Martha know. The deadline for Wigwag is about the 15th or 16th of the month. And I usually send my information to Mike Fergal. I think there are others, but you can send it to Mike Fergal. If you want to say anything, let us know. All right, if there's no one else with any questions. Chris, you're good? Okay. All right, so let's talk about the date of the next meeting. So town doesn't meet until May, I don't know, May 11. I don't know if we really need to meet in April, just to hear
Well-
what Craig Larson says.
Well, I would ask that you schedule a meeting in April because
Okay.
if something comes up with the wastewater treatment plant or the water project,
Okay,
we're going to be, hopefully the weather will cooperate, and if you do it the third week of April, we might have more to report to you. So.
okay. Okay,
And I would like to answer any questions that you guys might have going into the deliberative session, because we do want to have a good discussion on May 11th about the bond issue for the wastewater treatment plant.
Mhm.
But we are going to need people to understand and
Mhm.
talk to others in the community before we vote, because a $5 million bond issue is 5 times bigger than any other one that I've done here. So,
okay,
you know, it is a very large amount of money. It's a very complex issue, but it's something that people really need to talk through and need to understand.
okay.
So,
Yeah. Yes, so I'm looking at Monday, April 19th at 4 o'clock. How does that sound to people?
Good.
good with me.
Okay,
Done.
Okay,
so that's good. I'll have some words from Craig perhaps, and otherwise we'll just meet on that Monday. So if there's nothing else, someone can move to adjourn.
And
I
Eric,
move to adjourn.
Yep, go ahead.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Ed. So this meeting, yes,
Yeah,
Mark?
and if you guys have any questions about the treatment, we've got a lot of information on the website. If you guys have any specific information, email me, and we can set up a time to talk as well. Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks.
so we're adjourning at 4:36. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Sharon, before you drop off, can I talk to you, please?